Everybody, your coach Greg here. Hey, I have another video from the SS Beachbody. This one is, I'm really excited, we have the trainers that were on the cruise talking about us, being asked questions, and looks totally unscripted to me, so I'm going to go with that. But we have Tony Horton from the P90X, Shaun T from Insanity T25 Hip Hop Abs, and then the newest Beachbody trainer, Autumn Calabrese. So really, this is the first time I've seen Tony and Shaun really together and interact for a good length of time. Have Daikeler, the CEO of Beachbody, really asking questions, looks totally unscripted. Take a look, enjoy, hit the subscribe button as I have some more SS Beachbody videos coming up, like the top 10 coaches of Beachbody and some of the things that they do to help others. So enjoy and come back often.
Your life. So I'm gonna start and ask questions of you guys because I want to sort of, because I know what they're thinking. So I want to start at the beginning with Tony here a little bit. So by the way, is there a theme? There's not a theme that I'm supposed to do. Okay. So I didn't know if this was entrepreneurial trainer or something. So Tony, when I'm going to go to the moment that we decided to do Great Abs Guarantee, okay? And you know, you had your apartment and you were a trainer, friend of trainer, you had celebrity clientele. Now you took a risk with that because you didn't know, I mean you knew me a little bit, but you didn't know what the outcome of this could be, and it completely changed your practice and your training business. Why did you go ahead with it? I mean, really, if you had these celebrity clients, you could have been completely embarrassed by an infomercial. I mean, I think you had gotten away from the embarrassment of the Thigh Master spot, but along with many others similar to it. But what precipitated that, and you know, how did you say, all right, I'm going to do this then?
Well, you know, I bet you'd be surprised at this answer, but it was because of you. Yeah, I mean, when I met Carl out of the box, I mean, we met in sort of a serendipitous way. You know, a mutual friend of ours introduced us because we thought we had a lot in common. Turned out we did. We just made each other laugh. You know, every time he'd say something. And, I mean, we went on a ski trip where we talked with a German accent for 3 days.
I have to tell a little bit of the story. So,
go right ahead, Gunther.
Oh, very good, Dieter. So literally, we were at lunch, and you have lunch sort of in the middle of the hill, right? And you're outside, you have picnic tables and everything. So we're eating, we're having our lunch. Oh, yeah, that's fantastic.
I know, chicken breast, gluten-free bun.
Now you're having your chocolate cookie. I see, that's a very good cookie. And so Tony and the other guys, I was not done with my food yet. So I said, you guys go ski. I'm going to sit here for a little bit, finish my food. And so you go off, okay, go ahead. And it's like, I'll see you later. So they go ski.
As you can see, Carl grew up on the Austrian-German border.
So then he took off and sitting there for a little while, and some people were sitting around as well, we were talking there, and I look over to them and I go, do you know what time it is?
We had a group of people that were so fascinated with us. He grew up on the border, I'm from Berlin, Western Berlin. This is before the wall came down, I think, but we had a lot of fun. And the great thing about Carl was that he had a great sense of humor, he had a great drive, and he was just phenomenal company. And so we became fast friends before anything else. And you know, back in those days, I was trying to do stand-up comedy, but it turned out well. But you know, it was my acting background and also my training background that gave me the ability to be able to do what I did. But you know, Great Body Guarantee was a pretty simple thing, and I was really nervous, and I wasn't very good. You know, Debbie was actually better than I was. She was more versed with the camera than I was at that stage. But I really liked this guy, and I trusted this guy, and I needed the $2 grand. So let's face it. But what it was a stepping stone for me to be able to get to this place where I am now. You know, I mean, you know, just like Shaun, you know, he's not only a trainer, but he's a great motivator, he's a great speaker, and, you know, he's an entrepreneur, and, you know, that's what you've been able to do for all of us. Autumn's just sitting back going, damn, I can't wait for this ride to begin, you know? But I mean, that's really what this company has been able to do for us, and at that point, you know, I remember when you asked, there was no question. I was thrilled to get on board and work with you and create those first steps to help build this company.
Well, it's interesting how the things shift, right? So here's Tony taking this leap with this company that didn't exist. You know, in my mind, like we were the greatest thing that ever hit infomercials, and we were nothing. Like our first year, we did $800,000 in sales. And to just explain how far we've come, I mean, even the network, right? The first year in the network, we signed 5,000 coaches in the first year, and now we're signing 15,000 coaches a month. That's nice growth. Nice growth. And in fact, this week is the anniversary of next week, 28th, is the anniversary of our very first order in the network, and she might even be here. The person that ordered the first thing on the network. Is Lisa Decker here? Where is Lisa? There she is, the very first order in the network. Thank you. You still owe one payment or something. So, you know, this just shows growth, and interesting, everybody knows Shaun, you know, the first thing we did was hip-hop abs with him, but there came this sort of, yeah, right, there was a huge, actually at the time, the company has just sort of grown, right, just new product, grows a little bit, new product, we learn, we grow, and da, da, da. Not everything we do works, not everything strikes a chord, but hip-hop abs was the fastest growing product that we'd had at the time. We got to $1 million a week in media on that program in 4 weeks, which was the fastest we had ever done that. In fact, for years it was the fastest that ever got to $1 million a week, and that record was only broken by T25. But I knew Shaun as this dancing guy, right? Hey, hey!
I wish I had thought of that.
Check the pockets. Next time you Tony would be like, brush the teeth. So I knew this dancing guy, but there was this idea that I had that Isabel and I were talking about functional fitness and everything, and I said to her one time, you know, honey, I wish I had something that was just like, because I'm so terrible with my consistency of working out. When I finally get it together, maybe 2-3 times a week, when I finally do it, like I just want to bludgeon myself with this routine, and I want it to be hardcore. I want to be super functional. And she's like, yeah, they do that. She used to train people, track stars, and everything. Like she gave me an idea of what that might look like. Isabel used to be a trainer, what I mean, but. So I talked to Lara, Lara Ross is the SVP of development for the company, and you know, responsible for most of our just biggest hits, with the exception of P90X, which was Ned Farr. But I said, hey, I want to do this thing. You got to find a great trainer for it. She's like, absolutely. Let's look around. We started to look at people, and I guess she mentioned it to you or something, and Shaun's like, I'm going to do that. And I said, Lara, no, this isn't dance time. This is like hardcore. And Shaun said, no, let me do it. Let me show Carl that I'm going to do this thing. So he got like Tanya and her husband. Karpenko was in the background. Yeah, so you got like 3 or 4 people, and he did like 15 or 20 minutes of what he had in mind. They shot it like on a basketball court sort of thing, and I'm just telling you, I watched this thing, and it was truly awesome and insane. And that's when the name was born. It was truly insane. I mean, literally, everybody was like laying flat down. Karpenko had a water bottle and threw it against the wall because he couldn't do it anymore. Shaun's just like, you're done. And Shaun's just like, you people can't hang, I'm gonna finish this myself. What was it? Now you were going around the world, choreographer, dancer, like you had this career track, but something about that attracted you. Why did you throw your hat in the ring to possibly upset the trajectory of great dance programs? Zumba was just starting to get big. Like there was a different trajectory you could have been on, and you said, I'm going to do it that way.
I don't really think it was a conscious effort, really. I grew up playing sports, and I don't know if a lot of you noticed, but when I was 8 years old, I asked my mother if I could be a ballerina. Like I literally walked up and I was like, can I be a ballerina? And she's like, I don't think little boys are ballerinas. So it literally like left my mind, and so I played football, I ran track, I did all these things. So I moved to LA specifically just to see if I could be a successful professional dancer, but athletics was my #1 love, was the first thing. So, you know, when Lara was like, yeah, you know, we're looking for someone to do, you know, an insane program, I was like, why doesn't he just let me do it? She was like, he said, you're just a dance guy. And I was like, he really does not know who I am. But, you know, so that's why I did. I mean, it's in my blood. So one of the stories that a lot of people have heard is that I can't act out the full scene. But my very first day of track practice in high school went like this. No, I'm not going to act that. Coach says, all right, everyone, go out to the track, run a mile. In order to make it on the team, you have to do it in under 6 minutes. So you're like, what? But being the competitive person that I am, I go out and I run that mile in under 6 minutes, and I wanted to throw up, literally die. And then we finished that, and he was like, okay, let's stretch. I'm like, fine. And then, no, we didn't stretch yet. We ran the mile, then we started doing drills. Across the football field, we were doing these. Then we had to run back doing these. Then we had to run back. This was 50 meters of this, doing these. This is what we did. This was the, you know, then we had to run down through the cones, doing this, right? So when I did that, so we did that, and we were like exhausted after like, I don't know, it was like the 6 minute mile, and then it was like maybe 5 to 10 minutes of those drills. And so we were like, oh my God, that was hard. I wonder what we're gonna do tomorrow. And he was like, that was just the warm up. Literally, that's exactly how it happened. And I remember I was in the best shape of my life after 2 months. Like that was spring training. After 2 months, we started running our meets. And obviously our meets were like about a month and a half. And I just remember being in peak physical condition. So when the insanity thing came out, or you know, when I was able to go out and produce this thing, or give them my idea of what it was, I'm like, this is easy. But the craziest thing happened after we did the warm up and we stretched. He says, all right, we're gonna do 8 400s. When you finish one, you get a 30-second rest, and then you gotta do it again. And I was like, are you serious? Like, this is crazy. We had 1 minute and 15 seconds to finish these, you know, 1 minute 15 to 2 minutes to finish these 400 meter hurdles. So that's all insanity was. And so that was when I was 15 years old, 14 years old, and I was just like, this works. Like, how do I put this method into what I want to show Carl? And so I woke up at 5 a.m. one morning, and I sat at my dining room table, and I literally mapped out this workout, and I called all my friends. And actually, the video that we shot was in a dance studio. I'll get into it. The very first submission video I shot was actually in a dance studio, but Mike Carpengo did throw his water bottle up against the wall. He was really pissed, and it was very true that all my friends were laying on the floor, and I was like, I'm just gonna finish this by myself. But that's what it was, and it was just like, you know, I'm the dance guy, yes, I'm crazy, you know, I think that fitness has many different things. I mean, you know, Tony has 10-minute trainer, he has P90X, P90X2, P90X3, and all of them have something different about it. Me, I have hip hop abs, rockin' body, Asylum, Insanity, you know, we have all these things. But for me, I don't think that one program is for everybody. Like, I don't expect everybody to do Insanity. I don't expect everybody to do T25 or hip hop abs. But one of the reasons why I wanted to do this and step outside of the dance guy thing is because I'm like, I have a passion for fitness and for people to be as healthy as possible. And maybe they don't want to, you know, throw their hair, you know, doing different bags, you know, or pop it a little bit. You know, they might want to drop down and do some push-ups or something. So that's why I did it. That was the transition for me, the easy transition from going from one to the other.
Got it. Now, what people might not know is, in terms of background, you know, when we found, when we discovered Autumn through sort of researching the type of person that we wanted for this new 21-day program, you know, we saw this fitness person, bikini competitor, had devised this portion control program that she was selling and going on TV to market. But what I didn't know, and what I don't even know if it shows through the videos, is you used to be like a professional dancer, or you were all about the dance. Well, how did you make this transition from dancer over to fitness guru?
That I danced my whole life. I started when I was in 8th grade. I wasn't allowed to dance when I was little. I had a really bad hip injury when I was 4, put me in the hospital. Nobody really knows this story. They didn't know what was wrong with me. They didn't know if I'd ever walk again. Lo and behold, 3 weeks in the hospital, and I did. But I wasn't allowed to dance for a while. So 8th grade, started dancing, started competing within a year of taking class, and I was like, that's it, that's what I'm doing. I'm not having a desk job. I told my dad I was going to Hollywood, and he laughed. But my dad would dance with me in the kitchen. It was like, he would dance with me. So I did. I ended up competing all through high school, went to college as a dance major, ended up with a back injury my senior year, ended up with a bulging disc in my lower spine. And the doctor said, stop dancing or have back surgery by the time you're 20. And so I was left just, I mean, I had spent 10 years thinking I was going to dance my whole life, that was going to be my job, and here I am trying to figure out at 19, what am I going to do with myself? I left school a semester to go, and I moved to California, and I was like, I'm still going to Hollywood, I'm doing something in the entertainment business, because that's what I like to do. And I did acting for a while, and I had my SAG card, and did a little commercial work here and there, and I was waiting tables, and I hated waiting tables. I was like, I can't do another day of waiting tables. But I didn't want to teach dance. And that was like, I could still dance, I just couldn't dance 8 hours a day anymore. So I was like, I don't want to teach it, that's for me, it's personal now, like I just want to be able to do it when I want to do it. What's the next closest thing? Fitness. And I liked helping people, so I started researching certifications and came across NASM and ASM, and that was my first one. Paired up with somebody who had a small private business and started doing in-home training.
How long have you been a trainer?
10 years.
Well, it's interesting. When we had the meeting, and this is at the time, the first time we met Autumn, T25 was deep in development, and P90X3 was just getting in development. And I asked Autumn, you know, tell me about like the routine that you take your clients through that is the one that they love. Like what type of training do you do? And she said, well, I take them through this routine that's called the Dirty 30. And I said, you're my girl.
Yes, he did.
That's in the base kit, right?
It is.
Dirty 30. Wish I had thought of that one. That's a good one. All right, I want to move to what being in the network is like for you guys. And Tony, because you've got the longest history, I don't even know how we first even introduced the fact that we were launching this network. Obviously, when we do a show, we work for about a year and a half to get the product developed, test groups, and develop the show, and then test until we get that show roll out, hopefully. But what did you think at first when I said to you, we're going to launch a multi-level marketing business and your products are going to be a part of that? Did you have any opinion about that? Did you have any reaction to it at first?
I never told you, but inside my little brain, I thought, he's going to ruin the company. Because, you know, man, my affiliations prior have been with multi-level marketing have been pretty horrible. You know, the ick factor was very high 9 times out of 10, you know, and I would go to a meeting and I was, you know, back in those days, I was waiting tables. Loved it, though, weird. And, I want to wait tables. I want to rest and start washing dishes again. Wait at the dishwasher. But yeah, I mean, I had a bunch of different jobs back in those days, you know, but But you know, when you brought that to me, I thought, oh man, we're finally getting somewhere. We're finally starting to grow. And you know, I had those kinds of experiences with Amway and Herbalife and things like that. It was so brutal and so awful. But the beautiful thing was, you know, we spoke about that early on to kind of take the ick factor out. So I think the reason why it's grown to the point where it is, because this company is about helping people feel better, look better, lose weight, make some decent money, doing something they love so they can share that with other people. Boom. We're not selling, you know, cure-all pills and vacuum cleaners here. We're doing, which are important, but. And so, you know, early on I was skeptical. I'll never forget Carl called me and said, you know, I'm starting this Team Beachbody thing, and I'm going to get these folks called coaches. They're going to represent the company and sell some stuff. This is way before Shakeology. And you know anybody who do that? I go, yeah. Well, because initially we had these camps. Some of you have been to those camps that Tracy Moore and I ran way back in the day, just to do it, just to have, you know, get some folks together. We were all talking online, and we finally got these camps together. And I said, oh, I know a girl, Tracy Morrill. How about her? She might want to do it. Mark Briggs, he might want to do it. Robert Hudgens, he might want to do it. You're writing these names down. Okay, who are these people? Yeah, so, and it's funny because they were part of the original launch. You know, they were and now they're all top coaches, and their lives have changed. They've changed the lives of tens of thousands of people. And so in the end, I was wrong. It was a good idea. Really, really good idea. And it's fun because it's taken what we did with those camps initially that we really love doing, and it's exploded now, and it's really become this amazing thing. And you can't go anywhere now without people talking about Shakeology or Insanity or P90X3. And it really is, I mean, you guys and gals are truly the reason why this company has grown so exponentially. It really is. I mean, you're phenomenal representatives, and every time I come to one of these events, I'm more and more blown away. And you know, people will say that, you know, I've changed their lives. And, you know, you and I know that it's really you that opened the box. A lot of people didn't open the box. So it's just fun to see where it is compared to where it was, and you know, I'm proud to be part of it for sure.
So, like, one of the dynamics that you guys have, which I think is to some degree similar to what some of our coaches have, and the more success you get, like, there's, as much as everybody wants to help each other succeed, there's some competition between coaches. Obviously, people want to be top coach, they want to be top 10, or they want to be elite, and you can sort of, that burning desire can sometimes overtake the desire for the whole thing to succeed real well. As long as you're doing well, you're happy, but you're not all that happy when everybody else is doing well. And I just wonder, it's an interesting dynamic that's very unique up here, particularly between you two guys, but even the three of you, because the last two products that we released. So I'm going to ask Shaun, how do you manage to both want your products to succeed and be as big and successful as possible without hoping that X3 and 21 Day Fix fail miserably?
Well,
What he's gonna say and the bubble is gonna say.
you know, I mean, I'm very real. For me, like, the more successful any individual person is, that's amazing, because if you buy my program and you don't use it because you don't like it, I'd rather you send it back. You know, for me, it's, if you like Tony and you like his message, or if you like, you know, Autumn and you like her message, then that's the program you should be doing. For me, I only compete against myself. And the only competition that I do when I compete against myself in this family, if you will, is that I want someone's life to be changed, honestly, by what they choose to do. Because if you're making yourself go through something like Insanity, you're like, I really hate this guy. you know, one weekend, you're gonna be like, dude, like, I don't want to do it, and then you're miserable and you have a bad experience with working out. But then you might pick up 21 Day Fix and be like, oh my God, like, I really like this girl. And for me to walk down and be like, oh my God, I'm with Beachbody, but I do 21 Day Fix, I'm gonna say, congratulations, like, I'm so happy for you. Because at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with me, with how you decide to go out there and build your business or change your life or help change. It has nothing to do with me. Tony said, you open the box, I have something similar. I say, I'm just a tool in this big toolbox. And if you decide to use my programs or what I develop to help change your life or enhance other people's lives, then congratulations, do it. But I don't really feel that competing against each other, competing against someone else and what they do will get you absolutely nowhere. Like, if you want to be the best, that's how to do it. So, you know, for me, when I watch, I said this to Tony last night. For me, it's so cool when I'm laying in bed at 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm flipping through the channel, I'm like, there's Tony, there's me, there's Tony, there's me. It's like, because at the end of the day, believe, I can't wait till you get up there too, Autumn. But at the end of the day, if it was just me, I look at it like, well, you know, I want the company to thrive and be successful. You know, I know the Shakeology and I know we have the Team Beachbody, but as far as fitness programs go, I want to see more of us up there. So when I'm watching TV and then I see people shaking their booty, I'm like, y'all just on TV today? I love it. I think it's amazing. You know, and I'll say again, like, I have no reason to like wish that their programs don't make it, because that does me no good. I mean, you know, it's silly. So congratulations and congratulations.
So now, Autumn, so you got family, they're watching you, the business has started to, your training business has started to go, you've got this entrepreneurial thing, you're on the Hallmark channel, you've got celebrity clients who are digging it, and then all of a sudden, you get approached to be in this infomercial network marketing company called Beachbody that nobody's ever heard of. They know the programs, they all, I get asked on a weekly basis, what's it like to work for Tony Horton?
And I get, what's it like to have so much money for creating Beachbody?
I win.
And I get,
that's where the money's going. Okay?
and I get, you're the creator of P90X, right? I'm like,
I love the new program, Insanity. I mean, we're both handsome, but come on.
So you know, when you're going through this process, like, what do you tell people, right? How do you justify it when you took that leap? What was going through your mind, and what did you tell people? What was their reaction?
Well, I knew who Beachbody was when I got the call. And I was like, yes, where's the dotted line? And then everybody's like, are you going to do it? And I was like, what? I mean, yeah, there's a dotted line on site. And it's funny because 21 Day Fix, the infomercial is not out yet. So everybody's like, well, is it a change? And I'm like, not really yet, kind of, yes, no. But when I explain to people what it is, the first two things I say is, you know P90X and Insanity? Okay, so that's mine, but like I have this program and this is what it is. So I always reference you guys so that people understand, hopefully, what mine will do.
Now we work for you.
Yeah. And everybody knows, like again, once I say P90X, once I say Insanity, they're like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? You're so lucky. And I said, yeah.
Not lucky. Truth be told, I mean, we went through. There was a specific type of trainer that we wanted for 21 Day Fix. Somebody who understands what it's like to hit a deadline, to be in a incredible physical specimen in time for something. And certainly a bikini competitor goes through that process with every competition. And but also then this additional layer of managing the food issue, which is something that we've been looking for as a company for literally years. And Autumn was nice enough to actually sell that part of her business to us so that we could apply the portion control aspect of what she does, frankly, to the whole company, not just a 21 Day Fix. Right? So, you know, we'll be working on that down the line, but right now, in terms of 21 Day Fix, like we thought that this was going to be a program that was for people who wanted to lose those last 10 pounds just in time. What was fascinating, what we learned in the process, interestingly enough, there was a lot of resistance at the company about doing this program. Not a lot of excitement that when we got such big weight loss results with P90X and in Tony's programs and Insanity and Shaun's programs, that why would we do a 21-day program that the before and after you're not going to really be able to see anything? And I was like, I bet you I could prove that one wrong. And but at the same time, when we did our test group, we had some larger people who could never get their mind around a 90-day program. That was forever to them. If they haven't been able to organize their lives around health and fitness at this point, trying to organize it for 90 days was too far a horizon for many people, not everybody. So we saw that within the company, this idea of just 21 days was actually really attractive. And I mean, were you surprised by the weight loss results that we saw from Dion, Keith, and Anna and the others?
Yeah, I mean,
10, 11 rounds.
11 rounds, all of them over 100 pounds lost. I'll say it, I was a skeptic at first when you guys were going, we need 15 pounds off people in 21 days. I was like, okay, so I don't know if I can do this, but like, I'm gonna give it my best shot. And I wasn't sure how many rounds we were gonna get. We were only supposed to get 3. And we were, even Dion, 21 pounds in the first 21 days. I mean, that alone, I was just blown away. And I'm even more blown away by all of you guys and everything that I'm seeing on Instagram and Facebook. I mean, literally, it's the first thing I do when my alarm clock goes off in the morning. I roll over and I look at Instagram and I start liking photos. Because I'm seeing everybody's results and I'm still like, oh my God, look at the transformation still every day blows my mind.
Wow.
It's fun.
So that you guys, I mean, you get the most informed. So some things that are coming up, her infomercial will air in the next 2 weeks. We'll start to see that on the air. And honestly, I've been in the infomercial business now over 20 years, and I just have no idea. You have no idea. I would have thought, for instance, Rev Abs would have been a huge hit. Like, I thought we had that thing dialed in, and we couldn't get traction on that. We tried and tried. Turbo Fire did pretty well for us for about 3 or 4 months, and then we couldn't get it to get what we call a media efficiency traction. So it's not, we don't just buy media and then, whatever sales we get. Like, we track how much sales we get per $100 that we spend in media. So there's a real important, fragile relationship that helps us do that and buy this media to advertise a program very profitably. So I don't know how 21 Day Fix, should we, we have a very strong story in terms of the heavy weight loss in there, and a little bit of the story of lose 10 pounds in 21 days. We have a decent story about what the portion control is about, but we don't go into deep. So there's all these levers that I don't know how it's going to work, but obviously we're very hopeful, and we think we have a lot of ways to sort of to spin that Rubik's Cube to try to make that work. So that's coming in a couple weeks. We have a very exciting retest of Body Beast coming in the next couple weeks. What's exciting about that, and I know there's many of the women in here are featured in that show, this is the first time, when we originally did Body Beast, we thought this is for men only, we're going to focus it on men, and then so many women bought it, we were like, we guessed wrong on that one. So when we did the Beast Classic, obviously we had these incredible success stories, so we've added them to the Body Beast show, and that should come out in the next couple of weeks, and we'll see how that tests. It might work, it might not work. And then another test that nobody really is aware of, but an interesting thing happened. This goes back to the entrepreneurial speech, that when Autumn and I announced 21 Day Fix at Leadership last year, I don't know what your reactions are going to be. So we went up there, we described it, and the reaction blew my mind. Like when we said we were going to do a little test group, and there was a line of people, even before we were done talking, of people who wanted to try to test it. And it was so I was like, wow, there's something there about breaking the process off into a little bit of a shorter span. Again, not for everybody, but there's something about that. And so I started to think, what else have we done that reckons of that? And I thought of Asylum, which was a focused sports-inspired athletic matrix training program, and that's the way we pushed it out there. It was a 30-day program. So Lara and Shaun and I got to talking about it, and we came up with this idea of the Asylum 30-day lockdown. It's basically the same program, but the mentality is about, I got 30 days, I'm going into lockdown mode. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to work my ass off with these really extreme workouts. Sorry, kids. And I'm going to get the greatest results I can get in 30 days. And right now we're in the middle of, we're just wrapping up a test group on that. We're shooting the infomercial now, and that should be out sometime this summer, I think. Asylum 30-day lockdown. Same program, just a different twist on it to see if that part of the story, because it's always been a 30-day program, see if that part of the story really does well. I think we had people lose 30 pounds in 30 days, maybe a little bit more, and we had some people similar to 21 Day Fix that did 2 rounds of it. I think we have a 50-pound weight loss. They're almost done that. So I think that could be really exciting to the whole thing. And of course, you know, we have a recut of P90X3. Like, this is what we do. We have these 8 edit bays or 9 edit bays at the office, and we're constantly shuffling the shows around so that we can keep as much media as possible up there. And we have a recut of P90X3 coming out that's going to really accentuate that 30-minute story so we, again, can continue. Right now we have the number 1 and number 2 infomercials on TV. That is the 5th year in a row that we've had the number 1 show on TV. That's what happened. I walked into John's office the other day and I said, you know, something I was looking at, it's called the IMS, Infomercial Monitoring Service Report, and I was looking at it, and every year at this time, remember I said how fitness was so reliable in the infomercial business, and I looked down this thing, and there was hardly any fitness on the charts. There was no gadget, there was no Thigh Master, there was no roly-poly ab thing, there was no quick fix. And I said to John, I think we killed the bad guys. They can't compete. And it's really because of the work that you guys do. I mean, when they go into a test group, you got a test group going on right now, don't you? Don't you? No, you, Tony. Downstairs? Yeah. I hear these things going, and you are screaming at these people. And, you know, some of it's funny, but some of it's mean. But, you know, these people, they care so much. And I couldn't do what you do. I'm glad you like fitness because I can't stand it. But it's literally because the way you approach it, you make it fun. I did a post on Facebook a few weeks ago and I said, what is it? Well, what makes a great fitness program for you? And I got probably 200 responses, but they were very consistent. I just have to know I'm going to get results. I have to like the person that I'm watching on TV, and they have to make it fun. And I think even regardless of how hard the programs are or you know, what twist on fitness you're doing, all you guys have managed to make it fun. And I don't know how we got so lucky. Literally, like, you know, obviously we're careful with who we choose. We pay attention, but from a guy I played basketball with a couple times and we got into fights on the whatever, like how you and I became buddies, and it just, you know, it just turned into this thing, and Debbie and Shalene and Sagi and Dr. Chang and Leandro, the crazy one, he's like the court jester of the group. We got so lucky with this outrageous talent. So I just can't tell you how grateful I am that we all get to benefit from the fact that you guys create world-class product that has absolutely changed the face of fitness in the world. I know you guys have been working hard, and you know, there's no sleeping in on this ship, that's for sure. Even if you don't want to work out, you're going to be working out in your brain because it's loud, but you're doing great stuff, and we really appreciate having you on the boat. Thank you, guys.